We have to crown the champion in the Another Dumb Show Fantasy Football League. Ladies and gentlemen, wait, where'd it go? What? Where's my... What? What? Oh, here we go. After a long season, 12 men have put their heart, their soul, their minds to work, frantically clicking away on their phones every day, trying desperately to become champions in the Another Dumb Show Fantasy Football League. Not everybody can be a winner. Oh, wow, that cut off. Why the hell did that do that? That was not supposed to do that. There we go. Now we can still hear it. Anyway, guys, we do have our winner here that we're going to be giving it out to. It was a fantastically fun season filled with all kinds of ups and downs. We had teams that were starting out with 0 and so many. I think we had an 0-3 start, and then we had that team, the Ocean Gate Titans. They ended up going on like a 5 or 6, I don't know, maybe it was even an 8-game, some crazy long winning streak. It's been a really fun season here. I've really enjoyed having everybody in the league. Everybody in the league's been really cool and seemed like they've been really into it. And I saw so many people making moves throughout the season and actually trying to be successful in Another Dumb Show Fantasy Football League. Obviously, there was money on the line, but it's still great to see everybody having put so much effort into it and having had so much fun with it. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to crown the winner of the Another Dumb Show Fantasy Football League. Ladies and gentlemen, if we could get a big round of applause, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for one, Mr. Pat Wooey, champion in the Another Dumb Show Fantasy Football League. Way to go, Pat Wooey. He's in the chat saying, all I do is win. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Way to go, Pat Wooey. I'm so proud of you, dude. I know you had a great team there, made some great drafting. You did some great moves throughout the season. Constantly in everybody's messages about trades. He was always looking to make moves the whole season, big trades. Want to get his hands on Justin Jefferson. I made a very strategic move holding on to him, and we'll talk about that more in a minute. But again, you'll see our champion is Pat Wooey. So once again, congratulations, Pat. Thank you so much for being in the league. And then our second and third place, we have second place is John Gruden's Gmail. That is Brad H's team. So congratulations to Brad H and Amy. There's a little bit more towards your honeymoon fund, guys. And then our big winner, or our third place winner, getting his money back and calling it even, is our buddy Ken K. So Ken, congratulations. It wasn't a total bust for you. At least you walk with a little bit of, at least you didn't walk away empty-handed, right? I think that's what we figured out, was how we were going to break it down for everybody. So once again, congratulations to everybody for being in the league. We had a lot of fun. I am looking forward to next year. I do believe we will make a couple changes as we move into next year in the Fantasy Football League. I have, excuse me, hold on one sec. Excuse me, sorry guys, this throat thing's killing me. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to do it now. But Pat Wooey, everybody, I'm going to send you guys after the show. Keep an eye on your Venmo. I'll send you guys over your winnings. So congratulations again to you guys. Like I said, we're going to make some changes for next year. Next year, we're going to probably change the league we use. We used ESPN this year. We're probably going to be switching over to Yahoo for next year. I wasn't thrilled with. I felt like I had FOMO when every other league in the world was doing their Super Bowl, and we had another week before we got to our Super Bowl. It felt stupid. So we're going to switch over to the Yahoo League next year. And then from there, I think Pat Wooey might help co-commish to kind of take a little bit off of my table as far as running the league. because he has a little bit more experience with doing it. No, but I thought our league actually ran pretty smoothly, other than the fact that there's that weird ESPN thing. So I think that will be fun to add him in next year to help out with that, because he does have some good ideas as far as the league stuff. And then next year, what I plan on doing, I didn't have time this year, and I didn't have extra scratch to go out and get a trophy. So I guess the winners will just have to be happy with cash, cold hard cash, instead of a piece of metal that's useless and pointless other than bragging rights. So this year, just have to be happy with the cash. Next year, we will get you guys a trophy, and I'm going to get a plaque made. That way we can keep track of who wins annually. So Pat Wooey will try to start a streak by winning next year. So like I said, we'll have a legit trophy here, and then the plaque here in Studio Struts to commemorate all the winners. Sad, we're getting close to the end of football season, guys. Oh, by the way, if I have not already asked, and just want to remind everybody, I think I talked about joining earlier, but if you haven't had a chance to join, you want to be a member, make sure you hit that join button. That's the best way to help support Another Dumb Show, along with all of your super fan donations. So make sure you guys get those in if you can, too. So let's see here. Pat Wooey said he tried to get his wife to email in and say how much work he put into it. Like, I don't know if he's making fun of Amy for doing that. She said Brad put a lot of work in at the beginning of the season. Now, I think Brad, the last game. Oh, you know what? I skipped over a couple things here, actually. But Brad's fiance, Amy, a big fan of Another Dumb Show, she had emailed in at the beginning of the season saying that Brad H had put in a lot of studying regarding the draft and the league and all that good stuff for sleepers and all that stuff. So it paid off. He won a little bit of money, so not a complete and total waste of time for Brad. Let's see here. Oh, Nugget Man says there has to be a trophy. We'll talk about it. If we'll get around there some extra scratch to get a trophy, we'll do that. But it wasn't in the cards. Just went a little crazy Christmas time. So, kids said it was the best Christmas ever. So let's just keep that in mind. Creepy Michelle said she wants in next season on the league. RK said Pat better hope it doesn't take as long as the shirts. Yeah, the shirts. The shirts were out of my control. This one is in my control. The shirts had nothing to do with me. That was somebody else holding the shirts hostage. So it had nothing to do with me. Trust me, that would have been done right away. So the whole shirt debacle makes me, out of that whole thing, there's nothing that makes me angrier than that whole shirt thing. The whole allegation that I spent the fucking t-shirt money. That made me so mad. Just an absolute patent, not even a lie, just accusation based on nothing. Like literally, like it just, if you do a deal with somebody, would you give them a bunch of money before they show you how much it's going to cost? If they just say it's going to cost this much and you're dealing with a third party, wouldn't you say, well, hand me the invoice for it and then you'll get the money for it? Seems like it's a pretty straightforward transaction there, but it got a little convoluted, and then suddenly it turned into, yeah, well, I can't really go into any more detail about that, but anyway, yeah, that thing really, if anything that pisses me off, that was it. So, but again, drove by that place today, saw that it was shut down, which was weird, driving by there, seeing it all shut down, and the for lease signs and everything, and just thinking about all the stuff in there. It just shows how my brain is. All I thought about was, obviously I'm sorry for the people, some of the people there, but I was thinking to myself, there's so much stuff in that place. You know how fucking long it would take to get everything out of that place? Just the amount of tables alone. Oh my God. It would just take so long to get everything out of that fucking place, man. It's crazy. So let's see here. So forget about that. Never mind all that stuff. But going back to the league, we have to talk about Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another Dumb Show. I'm another Dumb Show host. Thank you for joining me on issue number 163 we're on, guys. Pretty crazy to think we've made it this far, but I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have all you guys along with me. The phones are working. 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. That's the number to call if you want to call into the show, if you got something you want to talk about, something going on in your life. If you want to comment on whatever we're talking about, that's always the best thing because I pay for these damn phones. You know I love when you guys call. So 844-HIT-DUMB. Put that in your phone. Save that shit in there. You can always follow the show, guys, at Another Dumb Show on Instagram and Twitter, all that good stuff. Of course, those of you who are not already members, or if you're not already subscribed, I always forget that one. If you're not already subscribed, take a second to subscribe to the show. If you're wondering why you can't be a part of the League of Dummies and talk with all of the members in the league in the chat, it's because you have to be subscribed for at least 10 minutes. So once you subscribe, 10 minutes later, you can join in the league and get your opinions in there if you don't want to call in. Just make sure if you have something you want me to say in the chat, just tag me and put at Another Dumb Show, just like Disaster did in his last comment saying, a cheesy Snickers tonight. And I believe that's Snickers. Snickers, that was what I said. I'm trying to remember how that Noah kid said his name. Kaniga. Snickigas. Cheesy Snick. And no, I'm not having any of those tonight. No, Diz. So, not tonight. We will get that figured out. I honestly, I ate. Trying to do better in eating at home. So I splurged a little bit today. I've been door dashing, so I don't have extra money, but I'm just making some money to be able to purchase some things that I need. And I've been talking for a while about, or Mikey has been talking about his air fryer and giving me a hard time for not having an air fryer. So I broke down today. There was an air fryer on sale. It was like $40 off of this thing. So I got a good deal on a pretty good size air fryer. So I can make enough food for like the whole family or whatever if we need to in there, if we got to do some quick stuff. And I gotta tell you what, thing worked pretty fucking good. First time I ever used an air fryer, and it tasted just like fried food. It was fucking awesome. So none of the grease or all that stuff, and it tasted almost exactly the same. So pretty pumped about my new air fryer. So having said that, I had to test it out, and I ate. So I'm not doing the Snickers because I'll throw it all up. And I forgot today and ate dinner instead. So my bad. I worked all day today. I had to eat before the show, or we weren't going to have a show because I was crabby. I was straight up hangry. I needed a Snickers like those commercials. I was hangry, man. A lot of idiots on the roads today. No like road rage or anything weird like that, but just a bunch of dipshits out there, man. I don't know if it's because of the rain or what, but God, people were driving so stupid today, and there was a lot of rude folks at some of these restaurants. I got to tell you, a lot of the all the people I dropped the food off to and everything seemingly are pretty nice, but man, these some of these people who work in these restaurants I go to are just not friendly at all. I mean, how hard is it to just say you're welcome when somebody says thank you? Or somebody says, thank you, have a nice day. Say, you too, even if you don't mean it. Very, very weird. If you've not already taken a second to hit a thumbs up on tonight's video, please make sure you hit thumbs up at some point tonight. I would greatly appreciate it if you did that. If you're not already a member, I learned something interesting yesterday. I was talking to B1. We did a little tutorial about membership gifts yesterday. And that... trying to teach people how to be able to enable gifting to get free memberships from the league members who love to pass out memberships because they're super generous. Excuse me, guys, I'm still fighting this throat thing. But anyway, so I did this tutorial, and then after the show, I was talking to B1, and she goes, "Hey, by the way, just so you know, that thing you said to do where you go try to hit the join button or whatever," she goes, that doesn't work on your phone to enable gifts. You can't hit join and then there's a pop-up for that to work. So I didn't realize that. I just know on your computer it works that way. But apparently so I was like, that can't be right. So I pulled out my phone and I started digging through and trying to do it myself. And no, you can't do it on your phone. I've not been able to figure out a way to do it on your phone. However, you can do a direct link if you want to do it. It's very simple. If you want to enable gifts, it's a thing that takes it literally right to the page. So all you have to go to is www.youtube.com. So go to the homepage, youtube.com/anotherdumbshow /allow_gifts. The worst URL ever, but it works. So as soon as you type it, it will pop up like that. So you can see right here. So I just typed in that link, youtube.com/anotherdumbshow /allow_gifts. And it took you directly to this thing to allow gifts, where you can toggle it on or off right there. You see that little blue guy in the middle. I have my mouse turned off. You can't see it. So, but just look, that little blue guy. That blue guy right there in the middle. We can't point to it from here because it's like a weird angle, but that blue guy right in the middle there. Toggle that on and off here. Doot, 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 doot. See that moving? That's the one you're gonna do. So youtube.com. Here, there you go. Secret ADS mod. She just actually put it in the chat as well, so you guys can find it directly there too. So just click it and you'll have it work. So, Brap says you can do it on your phone for gifts. He said he clicked on it and he clicked on. Let's see. He said, you can do it on your phone for gifts. I clicked on when someone did it, said so-and-so donated X amount of memberships. And when I did, it popped up for me to allow gifts. Oh, okay. So when you see somebody gift some gifts, apparently you can click on that and it will take you to the allow gifts thing. That's new for me too. Well, thank you for that information, Brap. I appreciate that. But definitely that link is probably the easiest way to do it right there, to be honest with you. Because you click it, takes you right to it. See, bang, bang. There it is. I just clicked it. Secret ADS mod is on it. Good job. So where did we leave off yesterday? I know I mentioned yesterday that I have a video dump I want to do. So don't let me forget to do that tonight. We'll dump some videos. I got some from a week, over the last week or so, that I never got to. But before we get into that, there is some breaking news in the world of football. The legendary college football coach of Alabama, Nick Saban, has retired. Kind of shocking news today. I don't know that anybody really saw that coming. Superfan donation from Irish Ronnie. He said, COVID is very real this year. I don't recommend. Yeah, I don't. B1 has got influence. She's negative for COVID, but has the influenza B and has been sick for like over a week now. So it's no joke. So, but Nick Saban not retiring due to COVID or anything like that. I don't know what the actual reason is. He didn't give an actual reason. I think probably just to enjoy. He's pretty old. I think he's 71 years old. So I think it was just time for him to call it quits. I'm sorry, 72 years old. He's been coaching Alabama since 2007. He's got 7 national titles. It's the most for any coach in college football history. He has ties to Northeast Ohio. He played college football at Kent State. He coached for the Browns for a little bit. Coached in the NFL. So legendary football coach. Decided to hang it up. Kind of a weird way to end. If you watched that Alabama-Michigan game, it was just a real shitty way to end. It was a kind of a bad play. I don't know if it's necessarily a bad play, but the play they ran just kind of, it was a low percentage play, it seemed like, from where they were at. They just had a quarterback run up the middle. End of the season, just ended on that play. Kind of unceremonious end to a great career. So it's weird how that, but you know what? That's what kind of Bill Belichick is facing if he ends up leaving in New England. So I guess you can't always ride off into the sunset every time. You just sometimes you just fall off your horse as you're walking off into the sunset or whatever. So a little bit more interesting news today, and another legendary coach fired in the NFL. Was also a college coach, a legendary college coach, Pete Carroll, the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. He was I guess he stepped down. It was kind of a mutual agreement between him and the Seahawks. Weird situation though. He's not going to like leave the Seahawks. He's going to be switching to quote like an advisory role or whatever they called it. Which honestly means I think they just don't want to. They know they'll have to pay him out. I don't know how much is left in his contract, but if they just get rid of him, they're going to end up having to pay out his huge contract that I'm sure he has. And I'd say if he wasn't as old as he, I guess my point is that's why they're calling him an advisor, but instead of just firing him, they feel better themselves about paying the dude if he's actually doing something for the team versus just swinging a golf club somewhere, getting all that money. I would say he should try to go coach Alabama, but I think he's like 71 anyway, so he's probably done coaching, I think. I do believe I talked to Pete Carroll one time on the phone. It's kind of a silly situation back when I was doing some phone screening on the old show. I don't exactly remember the situation, but I think there was something going on with Pete Carroll or the team or coaching or something was kind of like there was some sort of controversy wrapped around Pete Carroll, and I can't remember even really what it was. But when we have a guest on a show, sometimes they'll tell you ahead of time, hey, don't bring up XYZ. And, I always said, I would go, okay, well, I'll mention it to the host, but I can't guarantee that he won't. That's what I always said to him. And usually that was a good enough answer. When they would say that, they would just say, okay, they just kind of trust, because I'd almost kind of mumble that last part. I'd be like, okay, well, I'll mention to the host, but I don't know if they're actually listening. Anyway, so yeah, and most of the people let me through, but I'm pretty sure when I used that line on Pete Carroll just straight up went, oh, okay, never mind, and just hung up. I think that's the way it went down. And then if I'm not mistaken, I ended up getting into a bit of a beef with the booking person. It was this nerdy guy named Jake who ran this weird, I don't even understand how this guy even had the job he had. He's just this kind of nobody in radio, but he somehow put together some sort of booking service to where he was booking guests, and we dealt with him before, and this guy's just kind of a tool, to be honest with you. I don't know how else to explain it. And he might be doing big things by now. Who knows? I don't even remember the guy's last name. Just remember his name was Jake. And I remember Jake getting so angry at me, and I think I put him on speakerphone and it was me not getting mad back. It was me. It was a moment where I was actually just instead of because usually if you're angry, I'll usually match your anger, but instead in this case I thought it was so hilarious that this guy was so mad and I was just laughing at him. And I think I even put it on speakerphone for Charlie to listen to. And we both just giggled out loud because I think he even said, like, you don't know who you're messing with. Do you know who I am and what I can do to you, or something along those lines or whatever. And he's just this nobody that got random weird one-off guests, and that was probably the biggest guest that guy had ever had. And that was the only reason we went through the dude. But yeah, I do remember that. That was a pretty fun day. Getting yelled at by Pete Carroll, and then getting yelled at by that guy, and then just giggling and laughing the whole time. So let's see here. Michael K said, good evening to everybody. Becky says, was it piping crowd noise in another dumb show? I have no idea. Piping crowd noise in for Pete Carroll. Maybe that's what it was. I honestly don't remember. I don't remember what the controversy around him was at the time, but I think he had a book out, or I can't even remember why we had him on. It was so random. And then the fact that he lost it and got all pissy and was just like, okay, bye, and just hung up. Maybe that's what it was. I have to see. I can't remember exactly what it was. So, but yes, an interesting interaction with Pete Carroll. One more quick NFL note before we move on. We mentioned the firing, or I mentioned the firing of Mike Vrabel yesterday, the head coach of the Titans, and we speculated where he may end up, either New England, potentially Ohio State, and some people even said Pittsburgh. But apparently, he didn't get fired necessarily for poor performance. Apparently, the owner of the Tennessee Titans, I think her name is Ann Strug. And what is the name? Titans owner. Oh, Strunk. I'm sorry. It's Amy Adams Strunk is the name of the Titans owner. Well, apparently, she decided to fire Mike Vrabel, not necessarily because of the performance of the Titans, because the Titans have had a couple off years here. They haven't been on the game. They haven't been on the up to the standards you think the Titans have been in the past as a Super Bowl team. I know that was years ago, but whatever. Either way, that's the standard they're looking for. You've been in the Super Bowl, you want to get back to the Super Bowl. Everybody wants that. So apparently that wasn't the reason she fired him. I guess it was because when he went back, when Vrabel played for the Patriots, and he's in the Patriots Hall of Fame, he went back for the Patriots Hall of Fame ceremony where they inducted him. He went back to Foxborough. It was like pre-game, before game. I don't know if the Titans were off or if it was preseason. I actually don't really even know when it happened, but it was while Vrabel was coaching the Titans. And at one point during his acceptance speech and his thank you speech, he went on and on about how great the Patriots organization is and how it's, quote, not like that everywhere. And I guess that she took that as like a direct jab and also, so if he's saying that the Patriots are so great and it's not like that everywhere, she immediately is going to think, oh, what? We're not a great organization. You work for us, you dipshit. You should have said at least, and the one I work for too. You know what I mean? At least give us a little bit of love, make it funny. You don't have to directly mention the Titans so they get booed, but at least kind of give a mention of the current organization you're with. And then I guess she also was mad that when the Bill Belichick stuff started rumbling about him leaving the Patriots, of course, immediately everybody started rumbling about Vrabel potentially going there, even though he was on the Titans. And Vrabel didn't openly dismiss that notion. So it turns out that she was also pissed off that he didn't just be like, yeah, no, I want to be the Titans coach. I loved playing for the Patriots, but I love being the Titans coach. So who would do that though? It's just so unrealistic of her to feel that way or expect him to be like that, especially when we live in a world of opportunity and you got to leave those doors open. You can't just slam the door. You just leave it open. He didn't slam them. He didn't slam the door on them. He just kept it open for the Patriots down the road, that's just smart business. So if you're in a new job, watch what you say about your old job. Or they'll just say adios. Maybe you can go back there. So we'll see what ends up happening with Vrabel if he ends up. I know I brought this up 2 days in a row with him, but I'm actually interested. I like Mike Vrabel, so I'm interested to see where he ends up. I think he's a cool coach. So not that I don't like Stefanski, but it would be pretty cool to have him as a coach. Now, I didn't talk about this yesterday. I watched this all happen yesterday, but I didn't talk about it because, there was a million other things to talk about. But then today, there's an update to the whole story, and now I have to talk about it. So the Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Kimmel, Pat McAfee thing has officially come to a head. A few days back, Aaron Rodgers alleged that Jimmy Kimmel was going to be relieved to not be on the Epstein list, is the way he described it. Kimmel then fired back with at first he sent a tweet out basically threatening to sue Aaron Rodgers for associating him with pedophilia and Epstein. But then Aaron Rodgers, I think, then had an opportunity. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was then the weekend then came. Jimmy Kimmel goes live on Monday night. He does a whole 7-minute monologue about Aaron Rodgers, ripping on Rodgers and his intellect, and essentially said that Aaron Rodgers is really stupid. And in fact, he's so stupid he doesn't even know he's stupid, basically. I think he mentioned being concussed and he was giving him a hard time about only going to junior college and claiming he graduated from Cal, even though he went to Cal for a couple semesters or whatever. So Aaron Rodgers did not like that. He did not like being called stupid. Aaron Rodgers believes he's very intelligent. And I say that because I watched him on the the Pat McAfee show on Tuesday. And his rebuttal to the 7-minute monologue from Jimmy Kimmel was to double down on the whole thing. But, well, actually, I don't know if doubling down is the right way. He wouldn't come out outright and just apologize for what he said about the Epstein thing with Kimmel. He kind of danced around the actual wording that he used and said that he didn't actually say he was on a list. But dude, he pretty much alleged it. That was what the allegation is that he would be worried, he'll be relieved that he's not on the list. That's what that means, is that you think he might be on it, or you're saying he might be on it. Anyway, so Rodgers, it was like this uber hyper defensive rant that he went on, and he talked about how smart he is, and how many books he reads, and all the studies he gets into, and how he's able to formulate his own opinions based on all this information that he's read, and da 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 da. And yeah, I guess, dude, that's just called reading. You just said I read something, and that's the end of it. You don't need to go long on this long ass winded thing about how many books you read and going on and on about Fauci and the vaccine and lockdowns. And this is like a 1-year-old, 2-year-old. I mean, nobody's talking about vaccines and lockdowns and shit anymore. I mean, people have moved the fuck on. There's no mandates anymore. You don't have to wear a mask anywhere. Maybe you do at some places. I don't really know, but I don't have to go in. I'm going in and out of places all day now. I don't see anything about masks. I see people standing on top of each other in all these restaurants all day long. So there's no social distancing. All that shit's gone. It's done. Where people want to get a vaccine, they get it. People get COVID now. You get COVID. You go to work or you take a few days off. Nobody's social distances. None of that shit. It's all gone. So him just talking about it and like bringing it up like, oh, the draconian measures that we were all put under and da 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 da. It's like, bro, move on. What does that have to do with Jimmy Kimmel and him not thinking you're real smart or whatever? We got to rehash the whole COVID vaccine debate. So it was really lame. So what happened today was Aaron Rodgers, or Pat McAfee, came on the show today and announced that Aaron Rodgers is no longer going to be on the Pat McAfee show. And he had been on every Tuesday for a long time. And I watched that show. It was a good segment because when he wasn't talking about vaccines and shit like that, it was good to get the insight of an MVP, future Hall of Fame quarterback on the behind the scenes workings of teams and practices and NFL deals and stuff. You know, it was great. He was very, very, very entertaining when he did it. He's fairly charismatic. He get a few laughs in there, and he was open about his ayahuasca trips and stuff like that. So that Aaron Rodgers I kind of like, to be honest with you. This whole weird viral vaccine Aaron Rodgers, I don't like. I don't like it at all. And Pat McAfee even said today that he's glad he's not going to be on the show anymore because he doesn't want to have to deal with the weird divisiveness that he causes all the time. And it's one of the things like I've been trying to go for on this show is like I don't want it to be all negative Nancy all the time. I want some positive shit and some uplifting shit and like kind of togetherness vibe. You know what I mean? Not just the constant like, oh, you like that? Let me make fun of you about it. None of that. Like, I just like the positivity. So, and that's what that show kind of goes for. And that's one of the reasons why I like it. And this whole thing that's not their vibe. The debating stuff that doesn't have to do with football that's all they talk about is football for the most part, and a little bit of other stuff when there's no football to talk about. So it's a bummer that he's going to be gone, but pretty for one reason, but on the other hand, it's okay. He's going to be gone. I won't miss him because I'm over the whole viral stuff thing. So, but one of the cool things though, speaking of Pat McAfee, he actually has a pretty cool gig the way he's set up. I guess he negotiated his own deal with ESPN, which is pretty neat in itself. And in doing so, he basically retained every right he could have to all his content, whatever he says, whatever he does, the guys on the show, all that stuff. So he could basically kind of do whatever he wants without really fear of getting fired. So much so that he was like attacking ESPN brass and his bosses up above him and all that stuff. So pretty ballsy move. I will say it's not, he's definitely much smarter than a dumb guy I know who complained about shit pay and shit conditions at a job while under contract. Apparently that falls under the conduct of inappropriate behavior from what I hear. How'd that work out? So adios, Aaron Rodgers, no longer on the Pat McAfee show. Apparently there's only, I guess Pat McAfee has like 55 more episodes he's going to be doing on, so the rest of this year, I guess. And people are suggesting that the show's not even going to make it till then because of everything that's been going on. I guess because he's been attacking the brass about people supposedly releasing ratings early to make them look bad and all kinds of stuff. So major corporations usually don't like it when you call them out about their operations. Last week, yesterday, I kind of mentioned real quick. We talked a little bit about the playoff situation in the NFL and how it all came down to one game at the end of the week last week, and that was the Buffalo Bills playing the Miami Dolphins in Miami. And apparently during that game, after that game, there was a Bills fan who was actually shot and killed outside of the stadium after the game. And it's a weird story. I read that, and this is according to his aunt, who somehow must have gotten the information. So actually, let me just get the name of the guy who was actually killed here before we talk about it. His name, I think, was Dylan Isaacs. He's actually from Canada. He was walking through post-game traffic with his friends when, according to his aunt, he was hit by a car. She said, to our understanding, they were walking to their vehicle and a car had pulled out and hit Dylan, according to his aunt. I don't know if it knocked him over or how hard it hit him, but him and his friend started chasing the car as it sped away. Now, that's where this story gets a little bit weird to me. The Bills won that game. Okay? And again, I'm not trying to crap on, I don't know the story, but I'm just trying to put myself in that situation. You're walking, he's part of the Bills Mafia. Bills Mafia is, they're kind of rowdy. And I'm not suggesting this guy was doing any of the stuff that I'm about to say. This is just kind of the situation I'm picturing in my mind. He's all geared up in his Bills gear. He's walking out of the stands. He's walking out of the stadium. They're cutting through traffic. And there's probably some Dolphins fan in their car pulling out of a parking spot. And they're pulling like with a line of cars, like pulling out of a parking lot onto a street. So you're just a few cars all lined up pulling out, right? Well, if you've ever walked out of a game, you know how when you're walking, you kind of gauge that. And if you're cutting into the parking lot, you'll cut through those cars that are moving. Now, sometimes those cars, you're driving those cars, you're still dicking around with your radio. You're putting your phone, you're connecting your phone or whatever. You're not 100% paying attention because you're not really moving. So you're sitting there, you got your foot on the brake, you're down there diddling with this. And then all of a sudden you see the brake lights in front of you turn off. You let your foot off the brake and you start to go. Obviously, that's the wrong way to do it, but everybody's done it, right? In this case, I have a feeling that this Dylan guy just happened to be in front of the car when the guy let off his brake. Probably bumped him with the car and he stumbled over or whatever, because at that point then the guy drives off and these two dudes then chase him down the street. The guy who got bumped with the car, this Dylan dude and his friend, the two Bills fans, chase this guy down the street in his car. They finally catch up to him in traffic. You know how you're sitting there, you're stuck in traffic after the game, you've gotten out of the parking lot, you get out of the parking lot, you keep moving, and then, you get stuck again at the next light. So you've pulled from the parking lot, you get 500 feet up the street, you got to stop again. Then you're like, whew, damn, I wonder if I bumped that dude or not? Did I bump that guy? Maybe he did, maybe, I don't know what happened, but I apparently the guy left. I'm not saying it's right that he did that, but he did. So the guy gets away, drives away 500 feet, stopped in traffic, looks in his mirror, and all of a sudden there's the two Bills fans running up to his car. Well, this dude ends up getting out of his car, shoots one of the Bills fans, this Dylan guy, and ends up killing him. Then he ends up driving off. And they end up finding him and catching him, I think, later on the next day. They found him in West Palm or something like that. So, but my question is, what I'm wondering is if this guy is going to claim self-defense, even though he ran from the scene, even though there was a hit and run technically, and then even though he did flee the scene after he shot the guy, maybe, a defense could be that he was in fear for his life because he thought that those guys were coming to chase him down and harm him. And I think that'd be a valid argument, even though he hit him with the car and he ended up doing the wrong thing and shooting him. I could see how the world we're living in right now, that's this guy's going to claim this was all done in self-defense. And we'll have to see. I imagine there's a million cameras around that stadium and all that, in that area around there. So I'm sure there'll be more footage and more information that comes out about this. But I just think this story is kind of all over the place, and I'm wondering if it's because the news believes it's gonna grow a little. There's a little bit more to this story, I wonder. So, but if it does turn out that it was just like a weird Bills Mafia guy and just gets shot because he's a Bills fan, and he was maybe harassing a Miami fan or something like that, and then the guy hit him with his car, it was totally intentional, the guy was walking by, the Dolphins fan is in his car, the Bills fan walks by, goes, "Fuck the Dolphins, yeah, I'll go Bills," or whatever, Bills Mafia. And then the guy just maybe just gives him a little nudge with his car and takes off, which is totally wrong. That's a horrible thing to do. And only did that, and I'm bringing it back up in the second scenario, because if he did do that because it's a Bills fan and he was getting made fun of, then it's a totally different situation. If he actually accidentally bumped him because he was looking at his radio, he bumped the guy, then we got a little different situation. Unless he, if he swerved and intentionally bumped this dude, that's a different story. But if we had an initial accidental bump, and then all of a sudden he's got two guys chasing him down and he's afraid for his life, we might have a self-defense story there. So, call me an asshole. I don't know. I just feel like we might hear a little bit more from this story. If only those two guys could be like these two old dudes I found video of. There's these couple old dudes who ended up throwing down after the Titans-Jaguars game. It's pretty great. Enjoy this video. It made me laugh really hard. You guys know I love a good football fight video. I think this might be in the tailgating in a parking lot or something like that. I'm not exactly sure if this is pre or post game, but all I know is it's fantastic. So enjoy these two old guys beating each other up.
Stop! Stop!
Ooh, he's bleeding.
Stop! Enough, okay?
You need to
enough!
learn
No!
You need to learn to talk to girls.
No!
I ain't getting that, dude.
Ooh, a big swing and a miss. And then all the typical, the standard old man fight fall. You can't have any of these old guy fights without somebody falling like that. That slow fall that guy just did. I love that. It's one of my favorite things about watching old dudes fight is inevitably you will see one of them do that slow fall. It's like you watch a fat guy sit down in a chair enough times. Eventually you're going to see him fall and break that chair. That chair is going to collapse. Same thing with these dudes. You're going to see a good old guy stumble in the middle of this fight. So let's see that stumble again. That's actually my favorite part. Here we go. And here we go. Okay, we're back to the fight. Big swing and a miss, and then a swing and a I love watching old guys fight. It's the best. Disaster says, another dumb show, watching old men fight is like watching old school WWF. Yeah, it is kind of funny because they're doing almost like fake blows that don't really look like they're actually hitting anybody or anything like that. It's actually just because they're missing, but it does look like the old WWE where they were faking it, or WWF, I guess it was. If only those two guys These two guys, so we wanted those guys that one guy got shot to settle it with a fist fight. That's what I prefer, a good fist fight, a good old-fashioned fist fight. You got a Dolphins fan and a Bills fan that don't get along? All right, you get out of the car, we'll finish it in the parking lot. Just a couple fisticuffs. Somebody goes home with a black eye. Somebody goes home with a bloody lip. Everybody goes home at the end of the day. That's the way it should be. All these pussies with their guns be out here shooting people. Some bullshit. Now, best thing about the black eye and the bruised lip, afterwards, usually a lot of times, you have mutual respect for each other. So much that you'd even maybe go to McDonald's and have a Coke together. You go sit down and enjoy a meal. You talk about beating each other's asses. And now, you could go to McDonald's, guys. And you could get now what's being described as the big gulp of burgers. Because, ladies and gentlemen, McDonald's has taken it up a notch. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the newest member of the Mikey's McDonald's Challenge, version 2, the Double Big Mac. It's here, guys. Now, I have to normally order this special. This is my go-to order right here, all right? I enjoy this, and I have to pay extra to get this because I'm never getting enough meat on my Big Mac. So I order double Big Macs usually. And now they're going to be putting it on the menu, which means there's so many fat Fs like me out there ordering double Big Macs that they have decided, screw it, we're just going to put it on the menu. We're really tired of, because I know the people are going in that app and adding extra hamburger patties, because that's how I figured out you could even do that. As I was playing with that app, and I went, ooh, I can add meat to my Big Macs. So yes, please. We're going to have to redo Mikey's McDonald's Challenge with the double Big Macs. And I'm going to go so far as to say, I believe I might be able to accomplish the same time, even with the additional beef. I have a feeling. I think I might be able to get that same time, because I think I actually could have done it faster than I did it the first time around. So I think when I do this, and I know I owe you guys the stupid Snickers challenge, you'd rather see me do that. But I like to do these challenges. And I think I would like to get another run at Mikey's McDonald's Challenge, because I really think Brap said it needs more American cheese on it. No, that's what's the best thing about it, is you've now screwed up the ratio of cheese to meat, because it was too much, because, you know, on the old Big Mac, where it was just a regular Big Mac, you don't have enough meat to account for that slice of cheese for me to deal with it. That's part of the reason why I get the double meat. Messes up the ratio. So we're doing way more meat than we are cheese here at this point. So, all right. Now we're talking, guys. We're getting into some good things on Another Dumb Show. We're going to bring that back around once we have some time. And maybe a little extra scratch, because that shit ain't cheap. So, and of course, we still have to pay off the Snicker thing. So I will eventually get to that. Let's see here. Guys, I got to tell you, when I hate to say told you so, I was right. But even more has come out. And somebody gave me a hard time when I said you're gonna kick a dead guy when he's dead. Kick him while he's down. Kick a dead guy while he's dead. You're gonna rake on a dead guy. Well, no, I just want to be honest about the situation. Like in particular, like Matthew Perry. You know, there was all this love, this outpouring of support for this beloved celebrity, who's just, everybody loved him so much. He was in one show and then one sort of good movie that was only good because Bruce Willis was in it. Apparently, outside of being found out to be a big phony and a big liar about his sobriety, remember we came across just recently that he was meeting girls, young women on the dating app Raya, and having them bring him Oxy and other drugs. And so even during the time that he was writing his book about his road to sobriety, so turned out to be a big fat liar. Well, now it's turned out there's even more to the story about what a kind of shitty guy he may have been. There were allegations now that he, quote, assaulted women, including his ex-fiance. According to, well, I don't know who it's even technically according to right now. Oh, this is according to his ex-fiance, Molly Hurwitz. In the years leading up to his death, apparently he threw a coffee table at her at one point in time after she confronted him about cheating in 2021. It's also said that he shoved his live-in sober companion, Morgan Moses, he shoved her into a wall and threw her onto a bed during an angry meltdown in March of 2022. And it says here, these claims now threaten to tarnish Perry's legacy. How much more tarnishment does it need? I don't understand this. God, I hate to keep kicking the guy or whatever, but Jesus Christ. Oh, man. So anyway, there's a little bit more has come out about Matthew Perry, and it's gotten even worse. Apparently, he was not only allegedly a junkie, he's now allegedly a woman beater on top of it. So we'll seems like the story keeps growing around him. We'll have to see if there's any more that comes out about him. If any more of any other those girls come out, the Raya girls or anyone else comes out and backs up these allegations, but it does seem like apparently he I guess the live-in sobriety person who this Morgan was no longer working with Matthew, and he had a horrible breakdown, and in the heat of the moment he could not control his emotions. He had a fear that he was going to be abandoned. He shoved Morgan into a wall and threw her onto a bed, and she left. The source added, the man those close to him knew and the man that the world saw were two very different people. Big surprise. Not surprised by that at all. So the news on Matthew Perry post-mortem continues despite the outpouring of support for the beloved Friends actor. So there you go. Alrighty, guys, we are going to take real quick. Scott78 just hooked up everybody, well, not everybody, 5 people with Another Dumb Show memberships. Bad Will, Not Steve, Clarence Beeks, Sarah, and Nathan all got themselves Another Dumb Show membership. Congratulations to you guys, and thank you to Scott78 for doing that. I appreciate it. One of our most generous gifters here and one of the biggest supporters of Another Dumb Show. So congratulations to all of you, and thanks again, Scott. I really appreciate it. All right, we are going to take a quick break. Falcor, that's cold. You guys are awful. We're going to take a quick break. If you've, like I said earlier, if you haven't taken a second, hit the thumbs up on today's video. I'd greatly appreciate it if you do that. When we come back from break, I do have some tips. If you, this time of year after New Year's is one of the hardest times of the year for a lot of relationships. In fact, most divorces all happen in, I believe, in this month. So I'm going to give you 13 ways to save your marriage or relationship from a breakup when we come back from break. In the meantime, like I said, hit thumbs up. Second hour is always happy hour here on Another Dumb Show. I think I'm going to go. I got some cab in there. I think I'm going to be pouring a little cab for myself. I had a long day out there on the roads today. I know I'm not like digging ditches or doing hard work like the rest of you guys, but it was a stressful day out there on those roads today. I was getting a little, like I said, I was getting hangry. I thought to myself, actually, I was like, I got back, I don't know, like by about like 4 o'clock, I got off the road and I was like, I could go for a glass of wine right now. And then I was like, no, you got to wait. You got to at least wait till later on because you got a show to do here. So don't start drinking now. But happy hour, second hour is always happy hour here on Another Dumb Show. If you had a hard day, yell at those kids. Take it out on those kids. No, I'm kidding. Put them in the other room and get yourself a glass of something. Just tell them how much you love them. Throw some candy in the room. Just like throw it on the floor. They'll chase it. You know what I'm saying? Just throw it on the floor. They'll scurry after that shit. Slam the door behind them. And then, turn Another Dumb Show up really loud so you don't hear them banging. Come on, Dad, let me out. They'll get out in a couple hours. Just drink a drink, do your mokey moke, and we'll be right back on Another Dumb Show. Hang on. Whoppers. All right. Welcome back to another Dumb Show. I am another Dumb Show host. Whoa. Thank you for joining me this evening. I appreciate you guys streaming on my tube. You know how much I love having you guys stream on my tube. It feels so good. It feels so right having you guys streaming on my tube. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Second hour is always happy hour here on another Dumb Show. Got myself some cab here. Drinking it out of a glass. All my wine glasses are dirty. So I had 3 of them. Just broke 2 of them recently. Pretty pissed off about it, not gonna lie. But anyway, we're back, baby. Here we go. So, what was I seeing during the break? Oh, Disaster is talking some crazy shit tonight. I don't know if he's extra high or whatever, but he's over here talking about making homemade Big Macs. What is this, some Eddie Murphy delirious and bullshit? What are you talking about, Diz? Nobody makes Big Macs at home. Over there talking about Charlie get the Wonder Bread, and you got onions and pepper sticking out of the side of it. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, Diz. Come on, man. You're not shattering stereotypes with that shit, bro. Not at all. So, all right. I did talk before the break. Oh, by the way, reminder, the phones are working. 844-HEY-TOM, 844-448-3862. Going through some relationship stuff? Give me a call. Let's talk about it. Because I'm going to do, it's a bad month for people in relationships. A lot of times January is known as divorce month. Everybody's tight post-Christmas. What was that weird pop? Everybody's tight post-Christmas. Financially, spend a lot of money at Christmas. Things are emotional. Beginning of the year, new year feelings, new year vibes, new year, new you. You do you in 2022 kind of vibes. Sometimes that can get to be a little bit too much for relationships to withstand that. And in January, a lot of people, file for divorce. According to a law practice, Goldberg-Jones, they say the divorce filings increased by 33% from January through March, while online searches for divorce and related terms like divorce party also see a spike. Divorce party. Give me a break. Obviously, it didn't just start at Christmas time and then in January. There's probably been issues in the relationship long before that January breakdown. But there's an author, and she's a psychotherapist named Amy Morin. She's identified the key characteristics that could ensure your relationship will survive 2024. She wrote a book called 13 Things Mentally Strong Couples Don't Do. And it breaks down the 13 things that basically couples do that causes these January divorces to happen. So let's go through these, and you can call in. You can talk 844-HIT-DUM. You can let me know if any of these are affecting your relationship. If you do these things, I'll tell you about how they affect mine, and whether I do them or don't do them, and whatever what my situation is. I don't know if we call it a relationship, whatever B1 and I are right now. It's a situationship. I don't know, whatever. Together, living apart. I don't know, whatever the definition of what we are is. Either way, we do still kind of, we were together for a long time. So all of these things, living together as a, couple trying to build up to a marriage and all that stuff. And I don't know if we're going to get back to that. I really don't know where her head is with all of that. So, so there's your B1 update. But going back to this list, the first thing on the 13 things that you want to, 13 things mentally strong couples don't do. Number 1, don't ignore your problems. According, I guess 47% of people don't bring up their problems because they fear they'll make things worse. You're supposed to define the author says you're supposed to define the problem and ask, do I need to solve it or solve how I feel about it, and then create a plan to fix it. So is it an actual problem, or am I creating a problem? This is something that B1 has accused me of doing in the past, is that I will create a problem out of nothing. She accuses me of this frequently. And I try to explain, well, whatever I'm talking about either bothers me or whatever. For example, just recently, we just had a situation where I was being crazy. And every once in a while, I get a weird vibe where I feel like something might be up with her. Like I think she's talking to someone else or whatever. And it's totally unfounded. It's just my own insecurities driving these crazy thoughts. And I even just recently, so I look to see when I'm having these thoughts, when I'm being crazy, I'll look to see who she's following on Instagram to see if she's got any new followers. And I think I've mentioned this before. And I know it's something especially after this last incident, I'm definitely not going to do anymore, because it does just create problems. Because I saw her following some dude. He's a young, of course, it's all. She does tend to follow dudes, or mostly kind of like younger and muscular. She's not exactly following a bunch of older fat dudes that look like me or anything like that. So I think that's where the insecurity starts to lie. I gave her a hard. I did some crazy ass shit. I screenshotted the picture because she and I have a shared photo album. So I knew that when I screenshotted the picture, she'd actually see it in the photos. Hoping that she would at least address it with me, because just like in this case, I decided to do a trap that's listed on here in the underneath the don't ignore your problems. A common trap is waiting for the perfect time to address a problem, bringing up the same issue over and over, and using the silent treatment if a tricky topic is raised. So that's exactly what I just said. I instead of addressing the problem, I was silent about it, but kind of passive-aggressive silent about it. Screenshot this picture, figuring she'd see it and she'd bring it up to me. She didn't. So I went a step further, went nuts, and I just posted this guy's picture in a story on Instagram, waiting for her to be like, why did you do that? And then finally she did, and then we had a big fight about it. And of course, I just said to myself, by the end of it, I realized, though, this is literally all just based on my own insecurities about myself and our relationship. So it's something I need, going back to the defining the problem and asking, do I need to solve it or solve how I feel about it, and then create a plan to fix it. And I think this is more of a thing where I don't need to solve. She's allowed to fucking follow people. She said it's a guy she knew from high school. So I felt like an even bigger idiot. It's just some friend she knew she grew it up with. So apparently as kids is married and all this shit. So I feel like an asshole about it. So again, this isn't a thing. This isn't a problem that needs to be solved. This is me needing to solve how I feel about it and stop being so insecure and doing crazy ass shit like fucking looking up somebody's fucking followers and just seeing who they're following. So crazy thing right there. So again, and I'm very guilty of this one. And she does the same thing too. She's done the same thing as far as not crazy stuff like that, but like waiting for the perfect time to address a problem. She'll wait until we're actually in the middle of a fight to bring up stuff that has nothing to do with what we're talking about in a fight. I'm like, where did all this come from? So she has a bad habit of that. I have a bad habit of bringing the same issue up over and over. Like I said, this isn't the first time I've done this with the Instagram thing. And finally, using the silent treatment over tricky topics. That's a hard one to say. Silent treatment over tricky topics. I do that all the time. I get very cold and will just kind of stop talking if there's something I'm upset about. And it's basically then she's going to ask me what's wrong, and that's it. So very guilty of that. Number 2, don't keep secrets. 40% of people believe their partner keeps secrets. And, quote, healthy relationships are built on trust. It takes just one secret to erode that, Amy says. So decide and agree on what the difference is between secrecy and privacy. Common traps in this situation are being overprotective, sharing your partner's secret with someone else, and being brutally honest. For example, sharing opinions about your partner that will hurt them unnecessarily. Well, I don't keep secrets except the one I kept at the end of last year. Obviously, I don't. I am the brutally honest person where I tell basically everything to the point where it might even if I and not like a judgment thing of her, but if there's something that's upsetting me, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to. Well, I just said I'll give you the silent treatment in the last one, but in this one I will though. Like there are times where when we do get to the point where we are talking about it, once I'm over that silent treatment, I'm brutally honest. I go for the throat, and I can be, you're gonna lose the fight with me. You're gonna lose the argument with me. I'm gonna win, and that's part of the brutal honesty, I think. There, secrets as far as her, I think she definitely has kept secrets in the past. I think that's led to some of my insecurities. Nothing obviously as drastic as the one I kept last year, but. Yeah, sharing secrets, I don't do that. Like I'm a vault with her kind of stuff unless it's like, except like when I was on the show, because everything was show material. So it was basically the rule was if you don't want me to talk about it on the show, don't tell me about it kind of a thing. Or make it very, 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 very crystal clear before you tell me that it cannot be talked about on the show. And then after you tell me, remind me again that it cannot be talked about on the show. Now I will tend to ask. About her stories, just like that one, like our friend at work who got in trouble the other day. Not in trouble, but had that weird scam. Somebody tried to pull a scam on one of her coworkers, and I brought it up the other day, and I actually asked before I brought it up. So I've grown. I've really grown. Secrets with her. You want to know the weirdest secret I think about B1 is she doesn't talk to me about like, and maybe she just doesn't like do it or whatever. But I don't think she. If she does, and I know I know I brought this up before, but like, she doesn't talk about like the porn she's into or like sex that she's into. She's like secretive about it. It's really weird until we're actually in the moment. Then some of it will come out, but like, there's really no talking about it before or after. Really, it's kind of weird. I don't know. It's interesting. So, number 3, don't hesitate to set boundaries. 34% of couples disagree on the rules and boundaries they should set with extended family. For boundaries with your partner outside your relationship, as well as your partner's boundaries in and outside a relationship, ask, are they healthy or are they too rigid or too loose? This can be, I would say this applied more to my marriage. We did not have very good boundaries with my former in-laws. Like to the point where like my ex father-in-law just would show up at my house and he'd just start mowing my grass, and now he was doing it because he knew I hated to mow grass. But it would just be weird to me that he would just show up and start doing work around my house. They would just come over. When we first, this was the biggest ultimate boundary, and it's so silly and so stupid, but it made a big deal. It mattered to me. Maybe it's not stupid. This actually matters. So my ex-wife and I bought the new house. We bought this new house. We're moving into this house. He comes over. I think we'd already moved in, and we got everything in. And then after he's done, he goes in the bathroom, just drops a huge shit. Just a huge ass dump. And I'm so pissed off because he took a shit in my toilet before I even had a chance to take a shit in my toilet. And my damn brand new house, I didn't even get the shit in my toilet first. My father-in-law did. So I just remember I felt like there was a big boundary that had been crossed there. Shitting on my toilet before me. So you got to talk, there's some major boundaries that need to be put up there. Don't become martyrs. 47% of people feel resentful about all the work they do and the sacrifices they make for their relationships. Now, I think B1 and I both were very guilty of this for different reasons. I would be very guilty of that first part of work done outside of the house, just constantly working 2-3 jobs, working, sometimes I'd go through stretches where I was in wedding season and doing the show. And then I would also be door dashing. Like I'd be working like crazy amount of hours a week And then I'd actually work like I think there was at one point in time where I like worked 37 days in a row or something just outrageous like that. And lots of hours and all that time too, and stressful ass work and heavy lifting on the weekend, and just was a lot of work. And so I would just always be in a bad mood about it. Just kind of being like resentful of the fact that how hard I was working, and not that she wasn't working hard. It would just be like I would, and she was on the opposite spectrum of like wanting more. She was resentful of all the hard work that she was doing around the house too, and like she would be working hard and like would be also like her full-time job, and then also cleaning up around the house and cleaning up after me and after the boys and herself and the animals, da 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 da. We both got really bad about that, I'd say, and we were both bad at asking for help. Sometimes, actually, on the other hand, though, I'd ask too much of her, asking her to help out with the photo booth and stuff like that. It was a little bit too much to, because her plate was a little bit too full as it was. And then she felt, she felt like she had to do it, which then caused her kind of be resentful to me about it. So the whole thing is just kind of, there's a lot of weird dynamics there to keep track of. So, and Brap says, wait, hold up. You got butthurt over a shitter? I sure did. I was butthurt over that goddamn shitter. That was my shitter, and I wanted to shit in it first. I went in there, and shitter was full. Anyway, and the common trap in that last one, as far as martyring each other, is you disagree on what needs to be done, and you refuse to accept kindness from each other. I don't know about the refusing to accept kindness to each other. In the end, that's usually how it ends up. We chill out and we start being nice to each other again. But we do always end up just usually disagreeing on what needs to be done, and then we never really get anything done as it is. Number 5, don't use your emotions as weapons. 37% of people think their partner uses emotions like anger and sadness as a manipulation tactic. How would you do that? Create emotional rules for your home. For example, is it okay to slam doors when you're angry? Oh no. Okay, so don't be angry. Okay, I didn't really understand don't use your emotions as weapons. Now, I didn't think I was using my emotion as a weapon when I was an anger person, was an angry dude before I went through all my anger management and everything. No, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I don't get angry. I certainly get angry, but I don't walk around slamming doors and breaking things and flipping things over and throwing things like I used to. I was a fucking horrible person to live with for a long time. Just because when something went wrong, I was fucking screaming and yelling. Oh, fuck. I'm getting that leg cramp. Shit. Well, we almost had to take a break. If I get that leg cramp, we're taking a break. I can't do anything if I get that leg cramp. Everything's over. Everything stops. Ooh. I've got to tell you, I miss having B1 in the house and her companionship, and obviously in-house poon and everything. I miss that, more the companionship, obviously. But you want to know what I really miss? Is when I get this cramp, and I know that she's going to be able to, she will drop whatever she's doing to help, because she knows how bad this cramp in my leg gets. And she will literally drop what she's doing, and she'll bang on my leg until this stupid thing relaxes. Shit. Oh man, if this thing goes, we're in trouble, guys. And that's why I say go. It goes off like a shotgun in my leg. Shit. Oof, that happens, we're in trouble. Okay. Anyway. Shit. Anyway, back to the emotional thing. So yes, if you're an angry person, don't use that as an angry thing. Secret ADS Mod said, wait, another dumb show. You said you don't keep secrets, but wasn't the secret that you told Brittany you were doing stuff for this show and instead you were going out to see the mistress? Well, no, I was doing stuff for this show, and I was also doing that as well. So, that's what I'm saying. I did keep secrets. That's what I just said. That's what I was literally just got done saying. That's what I'm talking about. I did keep secrets. That was the big secret. I don't know how else I have to explain to you what the actual, literally every single lie I told. No, there was a whole shitload of them, and one to cover up one big secret. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't keep secrets from her. Everything else in my life is an open book to her. So I until then, basically. So anyway, Yeah, so I think we finished off. Don't be angry. You can't slam doors. Go get help if you need anger management like I did. Um, Common traps in that one are not to use your emotions as weapons. It says, don't, common trap, not believing the other person's genuine expression of emotions and confusing feelings with behaviors. For example, it's okay to feel angry, but becoming aggressive isn't okay. Exactly right. So, and I do think B1 is a little guilty of that sometimes too. And B1, if you're watching, I'm not shitting on you. I'm shitting on me just as much as you, and I'm not trying to shit on you at all. I'm just talking about things that I think you both know we need to work on our relationship. Because there's times where, like, I'm genuinely trying to explain to her how my feelings about something, and she gets very angry and gets a little bit aggressive. I mean, it's happened before. So it is definitely a thing where we've done that in the past to each other, and hopefully we're both aware of it now, and we can kind of work on fixing that. And that goes into number 6. Don't try to fix each other. 36% of people say their partner tries to fix things they don't like about them. You can express your concerns about partners in a loving way so that you focus on influencing them, not fixing them. So good example of that is I just saw a clip today. I learned something about the Miami Dolphins football coach, Mike McDaniel. Apparently he was a drunk at one point in his career when he was being shuffled around from city to city. He finally landed. I think it was in San Francisco. And when he got to San Francisco, he had a sit down from a couple coaches and a player, I think, or three different coaches sat him down and had a little conversation with him about his drinking. And he got to the point where he had to go and tell his wife about it. And when she was there for him, but she was obviously devastated and upset. But she didn't try to change him. He knew he had to change himself. So now I know that's a drastic example of somebody not trying to fix each other. Maybe it might be more emotionally trying to fix a person if maybe somebody is not super affectionate for some reason. You know, you can't fix that. It just happens naturally. I guess trying to fix each other. I'm not trying to fix her. I'm just trying to work on me right now. I think that's why people you guys will sometimes in the chat give me a hard time about what's going on with your relationship, where does it stand, blah 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 blah. And I'm kind of like, well, I'm working on me and she's working on her, and we'll figure that out. So I think while we're good on number 6 right now. Number 7, don't communicate with disrespect. 36% of people say their partners are sometimes rude, condescending, or disrespectful. I have definitely been a culprit of this. I've been very condescending and very passive aggressive. And I'm not like hissing through my teeth, I guess, but I get a very major cold shoulder. I can let's see. There's a researcher, I guess, identifies the 4 horsemen of a relationship, which is like predicting the end of a relationship: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. And I'd say she and I are very, very guilty of all 4 of those things back and forth. I'd say we've done those things to each other considerably. So again, hopefully we're learning from that. I'm trying not, I didn't do a good job the other day when I was very passive aggressive with her about that whole situation with the Instagram thing. But again, that's an insecurity thing. Feel like I learned my lesson from that because I'm getting better at learning my lessons. That's all there is to it. I don't know how else to explain it, but it took me, maybe I'm just kidding. Remember we took that test on the first go around of ADS when I had the emotional intelligence, I think of like a 21-year-old or something like that. Maybe I'm up to like a 31-year-old or something. I'm getting a little more emotionally secure. I'm actually trying to learn from my mistakes. Number 8, don't blame each other for your problems. 64% of people blame their partners for their lack of happiness. I think at times she and I were both guilty of that. I don't even know specific examples of that. But I think there's definitely been times, and I think every couple goes through that at some point in time, but you're not actually physically outwardly blaming them. You're talking about the things they may or may not be doing that are causing some of your problems, or you think might be causing some of your problems. So, um, yeah, I think the advice on this one, it says, excuse me, when I bit my tongue. Join forces to fight the problem together by developing a we versus the problem mentality. Now, that's something I'd said to her many times, that I needs to be a we, us against the world mentality for us to be successful. I've actually said those exact words to her, so I guess I know a little bit of what I'm talking about. Number 9, don't forget why you fell in love. 36% of people wonder why they even stay with their partner. Don't forget why you fell in love, and do talk about your love story. Look at your partner's photograph to help evoke good feelings and keep a healthy perspective. Assume your partner's intentions come from a good place. Common traps: don't demand public declarations of love, and don't bring up the past as a way to insult your partner. Yeah, I think we've both been guilty of that. We definitely, I was upset when she did the Ellen thing and she didn't publicly declare our relationship or talk about that. That bothered me. But I understand how shows go. Producers, they want a short storyline. They don't want a whole big, long, convoluted older boyfriend and stepmom, not married, blah, blah, blah. They don't want all that on the Ellen show. They just want this cute girl who's trying to get to school. That's a better storyline. So I was a little pissy about that. She's been guilty of trying to be public declarations of love. I don't know if you remember when she was at the calendar release party, when they introduced her month, when she walked up onto the stage in front of everybody, where I was standing on stage with everybody from the show. She walked up and laid one of the most big, wet, hot-ass kisses on me that I've ever had in my life, in her effort to claim me in front of everybody. I'll never forget that. So it did make me feel like $1 million, not gonna lie, because the hottest chick in the room just ran up and laid one on me in front of everybody. Bringing up the past as a way to insult your partner, we're both guilty of that. We've definitely done that. She just did that to me the other day, and I think I just did that to her the other day. So, number 10, don't expect the relationship to meet all of your needs. 39% say their partner expects more emotional support than they can give. So you got to identify each other's needs and discuss any differences you see out of this list. Oh boy, this is long. Admiration, affection, intimate conversation, domestic support, family commitment, financial support, honesty and openness, physical attractiveness, recreational companionship, and sexual fulfillment. Geez, that's a lot there. So you're supposed to literally write all those things down and try to figure out all the different things you guys agree with and are differ with when it comes to admiration, affection, intimate conversation, domestic. God, this is such a long list of things. Now, in all, I guess they do make sense. Admiration, affection. God, this is a lot here. Basically, all the different things that go into a relationship. You're supposed to sit down and go over them one by one. Who does that? Do people actually do that? Like, sit down and talk about, well, hey, how much, what I really admire about you? People do that? I guess they do, though, because I'd say that kind of stuff to B1. Like, I like how B1, like, I feel like when she puts her mind to something, she really can accomplish it. Most of the stuff that since I've met her, she's been able to like put her mind to and accomplish. So, I've given her, I've admired her for that. So I guess we do these things, but to sit down and go through all of them with somebody, I think that's a little bit much. One of the common traps in here is trying to meet all of your partner's needs and justifying bad behavior. Well, everybody tries to meet their partner's needs. Nobody's going to meet all their partner's needs. And the bad behavior that some people have, sometimes people's bad behavior are like learned things, and you just understand, like, you get sick of it. Like, there's something that B1 does all the time that kind of gets me a little bit frustrated, and I know learned thing, and she's trying to stop doing it, but she just doesn't, and it's frustrating. But eventually, we'll get through it, and eventually, hopefully, she'll learn and stop doing it. But I do kind of justify it based on, I know it's learned behavior based on her childhood. Number 11. Let's see here. I'm trying to miss some of the chat here. Brap says B1's upset right now and has a voodoo doll out. Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. That's where that cramp came from. Somebody stabbed me in the leg with a fucking long-ass needle. Becky asked, did B1 ever finish school? No, because there was something that happened with the program. I think she was having trouble with one of the classes, and there was an instructor that she wasn't getting along with who was getting ready to retire. So she was waiting for him to retire after the next semester. And then when she went to go back for the next semester, I can't remember what happened. They changed the program or something, and she was going to have to go back and retake a bunch of classes that she'd already passed, or something really weird. I can't remember what they did. They changed the program or something like that. But no, she did not actually finish school. But that's not a put your mind to it thing. That turned into a financial thing, and just kind of one class she was having a problem with, and then an instructor that was giving her a problem. So outside of that, puts her mind to stuff, gets it done. Number 11, don't neglect your partnership. 50% of individuals say they feel neglected by their partner sometimes. Text messages, apps, emails, and social media alerts call your attention to your phone, not your partner, Amy warns. Affirm your commitment often. Use We Talk, and develop and maintain relationship rituals like going to brunch together every Sunday. Okay, must be nice if you can go to brunch every Sunday. Jesus, that's expensive. Common traps right now when it comes to neglecting your partner is you thinking you're going to have time to spend together later on in life, and assuming your partner will understand if you don't prioritize your relationship, like if you put work first or something like that. So those are some common traps to avoid. Live in the now with your partner and try to prioritize your relationship. It's important. I definitely didn't. I definitely put work before my relationship a lot of times. I put work before my every relationship in my life for the longest time. I was thinking about that today, how it's nice not that I don't have to do that anymore. Number 12, we got two more of these and then we'll wrap it up. Number 12, don't take each other for granted. 53% of people say their partner takes them for granted sometimes. You're supposed to observe, assess, and reassess your partner going about their usual activities. What the hell does that mean? Observe, assess, and reassess your partner going about their usual activities. So that helps you not take them for granted, just kind of watching them and knowing what they're doing from a day-to-day thing. You'll see and recognize how much they're doing for you. Okay, fair enough. I like that one. Reframe judgmental assessments with compassionate assessments, not assessments. Reframe judgmental assessments with compassionate ones. So maybe like instead of saying your ass looks fat in those jeans, say something along the lines of those jeans look too big for your body, or something like that. Maybe just to get them to change the jeans. I don't know. That's a bad example. I don't know. Here's one they do. An assessment could be, he never remembers to pick up stuff at the store that I ask him to. But the reassessment could be, he's had a busy day and it's tough to remember things sometimes. Okay, so that's just don't be a dick. That's just understand that everybody's busy, and if somebody forgets something, don't be a dick. Okay, I don't know if that's taking somebody for granted. I think that's just sometimes having expectations, and sometimes they're too high, and you need to chill out and not have such high expectations, even if it's something you think is as simple as remembering to pick up something from the store on the way home. They forget, they forget. Not spilled milk. Let's not cry over it. I have a bad problem with that. I get a little too frustrated with things. Don't sweat the small stuff, Tom. Got to learn not to do that. Number 13, don't stop growing and changing. 25% of people fear their partner won't like them as much if they make big changes. There may be selfish motives for not wanting your partner to create positive change, so pay attention to your emotional reactions and assumptions. Um, for example, your partner wants to go back to college. Your emotional reaction could be frustration, and you could have thoughts like they're going to waste a lot of money. Then you could make the assumption they're going to take a few classes and quit going. So there you go. That's something that people could assume. And you don't want to, you obviously wouldn't tell somebody that if those are the type of things you were assuming. But if you take those things that you're thinking and you kind of turn them around and try to realize that way of thinking, that goes back to the reassess thing. You reassess everything and decide whether maybe you should just be supportive of them and their desire to go back to college, and just then make it very clear, this is a big move and you got to make sure you're going to go through with it, all that kind of stuff. So that's it, guys. Those are the 13 things mentally strong couples don't do. Don't ignore your problems. Don't keep secret. Don't hesitate to set boundaries. Don't become martyrs. Don't use your emotions as weapons. Don't try to fix each other. Don't communicate with disrespect. Don't blame each other for your problems. Don't forget why you fell in love. Don't expect the relationship to meet all your needs. Don't neglect your partnership. Don't take each other for granted. And then most importantly, don't stop growing and changing. And I think that's an important one. That's tough, that last one, because, I feel like I'm trying to grow a lot, and I'm trying to change a lot from the person I was before and the person I was last year. And I'm hoping that she's trying to do those same things, but I feel like she's got so many other things on her plate that it's been hard for her to kind of focus on that, on growing our relationship. But here's somebody who knows a lot about relationships. It's the dude, Carrie from Rochester. What's up, dude?
Hi, I didn't even know. I wasn't paying attention. I was just in the chat, and someone was like, "Call in." Okay, so I called last night for this. I wasn't calling about Mikey. I'm being nice.
Okay.
So last week I totaled my car, dude. Okay, so I was driving home. I was at the gym, and I was driving home, and now I live across the city, so I dropped off my friend, and all of a sudden there's a man in the middle of the road. So I swerved not to hit the man, and I hit the median, and my airbags deployed. It was not good.
Oh,
so
no.
The man that I swerved to not hit, and his girlfriend and some other guys that came out of a house are helping me push my car out of the road. And then I go to get my purse out of the passenger side floor to call AAA. Well, my purse is gone. So I turn around, and the man that I swerved not to kill had my purse and was walking down the street with it. So I turn around and start just running after him, grab it back, go back, call AAA, call an Uber, and the other guys, they're like, "You want to come in and smoke with us till your Uber comes?" I'm like, "No, thanks, I'm good." That was bad.
So what kind of car was it? Was it a newer car or an old car?
Yes, I had it 2 months. I mean, it was only it was a 2006. But it was
new to
mine.
you. It was new to you. Oh,
yeah.
man.
It was mine.
Yeah.
But I didn't kill anyone. I didn't get arrested. I didn't get my purse stolen. I didn't smoke crack with those men. Everything turned out fine.
That's good.
It could have been 10 million times worse. So.
And I'm assuming that you weren't, and
that.
you don't drink anymore, right? So you nothing like that, no worries, none of that kind of stuff.
No, I mean I do on the weekends, but I don't drive if I do.
Gotcha.
No, I wasn't drinking. No, I was fine.
Oh man, so just the homeboy just popped up, some crackhead.
I've been at the gym, and then yes, dude, he was just in the middle of the road. What? I mean, I'm glad I didn't kill him though, because then I'd have to live with that forever. So.
Yeah, so how fast were you going when you? I mean, 25 miles an hour or something like that, and just all of a sudden.
30, I think, and I swerved not to hit him, and I hit there's a big median in the middle of the road, and I hit that, and my tire got, and it broke the frame to my car.
Do you have full coverage?
No.
Are you? Oh no, that sucks, dude. Oh man.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, no, it'll be fine. I'll get another car. It'll be fine. I'm not.
So what are you
gonna?
gonna?
It's winter. I don't need to be out. It's fine.
How are you gonna get to work and stuff like that? You just gonna hoof it, or what are you gonna do? Take the bus or
walk? Are you kidding? No, bus. No. I've been Ubering. It's fine.
Gotcha. Ooh, that adds up. Ask Latoke.
It's $10. It's $10 each way. and I make like $200 a day. So I mean,
Okay,
it's
well,
fine.
there you go. That's better than nothing then. All right. Well, it's better than
Yeah,
sitting at
I know.
home.
I'm like, I know. And even my dad was like, he's like, you're handling this so much better than I thought you would.
You are pretty chill
Yeah,
about
no.
it. Normally you're bouncing
I
off
know.
the walls, but you're pretty mellow right now.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, no. I mean, I could just keep telling myself I'm in a better place than I was like last year. So whatever.
Well, there you go.
You know,
That's
you
what
live
a
and learn.
positive state of mind. Positivity breeds positive things, right, Carrie? So power positive thinking. I still believe in that. I know you used to always say it on the old show, but I do still believe in that. So got to manifest it.
Yeah, no. Say
You just
manifestations.
That's right. Write it down, Carrie. I will get a new car soon. Write it down. Next thing you know, you'll have a new car before you know
Yeah.
it, right?
Yes. All right. All right.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Oh, it's good to hear your voice. I haven't
All
heard
right.
from you in a minute, so it's good
Oh
to hear
wait,
from you.
I wanted to talk about some other thing. Okay, the alien at the mall.
Yeah.
I think there was kids setting fireworks off inside the mall, and people thought that there were people shooting, and then they all just ran. I think that's what that was.
That's exactly what it was. But people are the
Yeah.
speculation is that that's not what really
Yeah,
happened.
no, and that big gray blob. Like, are you kidding? If there was, like, I mean, I hate going to the mall. It just gives me anxiety. But there's a lot of people there. Someone would have gotten a video of the alien. Like, if
I
there
agree.
was an actual alien, someone would have gotten a video.
So what
You
about
know,
the
oh my
tentacle
God.
one?
So today, wait, okay, you got to listen to this. So today I was clean. You know, I went to a new client's house, and I was in his walk-in like room size closet cleaning. And dude, he had a picture of him with Bill and Hillary Clinton. I
Really?
made a video. I was like, do you think this was taken on Epstein Island?
So Carrie, wait, you mentioned this.
I was.
You mentioned the gray blob. Do you not believe the gray blob video, the tentacle video? You don't think that's an alien or a UFO? You don't know. What are you saying?
Which gray tentacle video?
You
the
said
one with like that like God thing walking through it, or like the gray blurry thing in front of the thousands of police cars?
Okay, well, there's two different alien videos I showed yesterday. Are you talking
Oh
about?
yeah, I saw that one that you had on yesterday, like that drone video. That just looked like, I don't even know what that looks like. Just something off. No, neither one of those looks like aliens. Like, I totally believe in aliens, but neither one of those were them, because they're a lot smarter than we are, and like, I mean, yeah, no, they're not gonna look like that. Like,
I don't know. This one looks pretty. This pretty. What I'm showing it right now, it looks pretty alien-y to me.
well, I can't look at things and talk on the phone at the same time. I'm bad at multitasking.
All right, Carrie. Well, thank you for calling. Take it easy, dude. I love you. Adios. Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, the dude, Carrie from Rochester. Sad news about her car. I don't like hearing that, but I think this is. She was referring to the other one from Miami. That video was obviously not real, but this one, this is some legit shit right here. I don't know what we're looking at right here. Whatever this flying thing is, I'm going back and forth, changing. It gets light and it gets dark. I mean, but right there, doesn't it almost look like a dude with a jetpack on? Kind of, if you zoom in a little bit. Couple legs hanging down, like a jet propulsion thing on his back, and like a suit thing kind of in the front. Doesn't it almost kind of look like that? Like that's a dude flying, hovering though? How would he hover? How would he hover like that? And how would he change color? How would the thermal, if that's a thermal thing, how would that thermal thing change? Very, very weird. All right, so speaking of videos, let's do this. Let's dump the videos I have before we wrap things up here tonight. I promised I would get to the video dump. I got a whole bunch of videos that I've been holding on to. And I'm just going to rip right through them. Actually, wait, I do have them organized a little bit here, don't I? Okay, cool. So there's a few of them that are like, might be a little bit older, a couple weeks, maybe a week or so old. If you might have already seen it. If you haven't seen it, great. If you have, well, you get to hear my opinion about it. But here they are. Here's this one. We love a good football fight, football crowd fight. This is a couple who got into a fight. This is when the Chargers and the Broncos played a couple of weeks ago. This is a couple getting into a fight at a game. Oh, the hair grab, trying to pull his girl back. Ooh, that homeboy comes up with a sucker punch. Oh, the dive over the steps. Ouch, that stung. These two are still going. You got a girl just laughing at these four idiots fighting over nothing. So that was a good one. I liked that one. That was a good football fight there. Let's see the guy take the fall here. Here comes the cheap shot. Lame ass cheap shot too. God, that was terrible. Just a shitty thud on his shoulder. That was awful. And this guy, oops. I love this girl laughing at him. That's the best part. What a bunch of duels. Oh man, these football game fights are they're so entertaining, but they're getting really out of hand, man. You know what else is getting out of hand at football games? Jake Browning's girlfriend. Have you guys seen this? I was the other day when the Browns were playing the Bengals. I was on the phone with my mom when this video came on, and I literally stopped mid-sentence, went, holy shit. This was Jake Browning's girlfriend during the game the other day. It's just literally that quick clip. That's all I saw was just this little 2-second clip. Hold on one sec. Where is it? There, it ends there. This is all I saw was this. That much. And it just made me go, holy shit. And I just had to get off the phone pretty quickly with my mom and find out who this person was, because I was wondering, why is she wearing Jake Browning jersey or whatever this guy's name is? And apparently this is her in his suite, and quite a sweet Bengals outfit. I mean, that's pretty hot. I don't know where she came up with that, but that is quite an outfit. Little sad the Bengals didn't make the playoffs, to be honest with you. Wouldn't have been bad to have, the next iteration of that outfit on TV. So that was for you, all the guys, and well, some of the ladies here too. That was a good one. I enjoyed. Her name is Stephanie Niles, by the way. I did watch some videos of her. She's actually, I looked at her, watched some videos of her. I saw her Instagram, and pretty, but not that pretty. Great bod, really, really hot from afar. Okay. Now, yesterday, there was one of the stranger stories that I've seen in a long time was what happened in New York City. There was this tunnel that was found under a temple, a Jewish temple in New York City. I believe it was in Brooklyn. I don't know my boroughs enough to confirm it, but anyway, so here is the tunnel that they found underneath this temple, and it's kind of a little bit long, so I'm going to kind of scrub through it a little bit, kind of slowly. Actually, I don't know, it's not that long. We could play it, so we can kind of see what this tunnel looks like under this thing. And I have a couple other videos to go along with the tunnel. There were a bunch of Jewish dudes rioting when this happened. Where's that at? I have that video right here. So here's this. Let's play this first. So here's these dudes showing up. They freak out. They start rioting. All these Jewish dudes, because they're upset because the police have found out about this tunnel, and they're going to fill it in with cement. And this is what happens. And I don't know why there's no sound on this. I thought there was sound. Why is there no sound on this? Hold on. There's supposed to be sound on this. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, Crown Heights, Brooklyn. So you see these dudes trying to get through the police line. They've already arrested one dude. Then all hell starts going chaos. Just all hell breaks loose. They start flipping pews or tables or whatever. You hear the one guy in the background, no, please don't do this. Come on, Morty. Morty, what are you doing? So you see the cops have to hold all these dudes back. still getting off. They're just tearing up their own temple, which I really don't understand. They're trying to, I'm assuming they're just trying to get all of themselves over there. I don't know why they're going to move this to get everybody over there. Oh, the cops pull out the pepper spray. So this shows you where the tunnel exits, so you can get an idea of that. And then I'm going to show you the actual tunnel, and then I'm going to show you something really fucking strange about this whole thing. So forget about that for now. Where's this other video I had of this tunnel? So here's the actual tunnel. Now, the weird part about this story, well, we'll get to it in a minute. There's some allegations that these dudes have had some connection to pedophilia. One of the I guess one of the rabbis or consultant there years and years ago had been quoted saying something along the lines, he did something with a did things that shouldn't be done to a 5-year-old girl. This was the Jewish Chabad movement, which dug tunnels in New York City. And we'll get to some of the, I guess the Herschel Pekar is one of their most prominent members, admitted in 1991 to doing things that shouldn't be done to a 5-year-old girl. So there's some weird connections to, children in this place. And now there's this weird tunnel. So there's no sound to this video. This is them they've gone into the tunnel. This is what the tunnel looks like, which is really weird because it's all just full of crap. Then you go down these steps, way down. Now you're way down under New York City. And you can see where the digging continues for them to be able to get through and get out. Keep going, keep going. So there it is. It's so weird. So now you're underneath. You see where they've dug out a hole in the side of the wall, which now you go into the actual tunnel part that they've dug, which is fairly, I don't know if sophisticated is the right word, but I don't know really how they dug it out. So the police don't go down that tunnel. They don't want to get stuck down there. So it doesn't look very safe or whatever. So what is this doing here? Why are you doing this? What are you doing to me here? It doesn't look very safe in there. So they're not going to go climbing through there or whatever. But then the weirdest part of this video, and I found this, why is this one not showing the video either? Why is it not showing the audio sometimes? Man, that's so strange. Okay, here we go. So if you look behind these panels in this place, there are what look to be soiled mattresses. So here you go. Here's this video. It's really strange, but watch as they start ripping the walls off of this inside of this place. What is that? What in the world is that doing in a wall, like where they had tunnels? What is a soiled mattress doing in there? What the fuck? That's so disgusting. What is on that? What is that? And I believe they also pull a high chair out of there, a child's high chair. They got another weird mattress here. So this whole thing is just very odd. I don't understand the whole thing. I don't know what's going on there. Supposedly they built it during COVID times to be able to get in and out during lockdown. I don't know. The whole thing just seems kind of sketchy. It's a weird situation. So I'll keep an eye on that and see if any other, what they find out about that, what those tunnels are there for, if they find anything else about it. Let's see here. There's some crazy stuff going on, and I believe is Ecuador where where the dude who used to be on the show, his wife was from, and we used to joke about that. Isn't that where we say? Isn't that where he went on vacation when the flood happened? Isn't that Ecuador? If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Ecuador. Anyway, shit's going crazy in Ecuador right now. There's like cartels basically taking over the state there. And yesterday, a cartel took over a TV news station by force. So there you go. You guys get the gist of it. I don't think we need to see a gun to that guy's neck anymore. But so you guys get the gist of what is going on there. And it's just going crazy right now. I mean, like they got guys down on their knees putting guns to their head. People begging for their life. They had apparently had sticks of dynamite that they had taken into the station as well, and they were threatening to blow up the station. And again, these just look like young kids, like young thugs. They're wearing, this guy's got on a Tommy Jeans hoodie. He's wearing a Tommy Jeans hoodie. Like, I mean, this isn't like some armed militia in the sense that like they have uniforms and stuff like that. They're just some weird group of young thugs who are taking over the country right now. I saw some video of them taking over the streets there. They're people getting shot kind of indiscriminately. It's a little bit nuts right now. So let me go look at my last Ecuador. Look at my last update because I just saw something right before we started. So right now, the president of Ecuador says that the country is at war with drug gangs currently, and that's who they're holding the country prisoner. Basically, they're holding prison guards hostage. There was a big dramatic surge in violence yesterday with, like we saw, the gunman taking over TV's live broadcasts. There were explosions in multiple cities. 22 different gangs have been named as terrorist organizations. So now the military in Ecuador is going to start going after all of these different gangs to try to shut it down. So he's claiming they're officially at war with the gangs in Ecuador so they can stop. They took more than 130 prison guards and staff hostage starting early hours on Monday. I got some gang leader got out, and now they're in a 60-day state of emergency because of it. So shit's getting crazy down there, and to the point where they're taking over TV news stations live. It's crazy. Can you imagine if that happened in the United States? It'd be like the biggest news thing that ever happened in the history of the news, because the news loves talking about itself. So that would be crazy. Here we go. They were trying to, Disaster says, what was the point? They held guns on people for what? The point, well, they're trying to, there are gang members in the prisons, and they're trying to get gang members released, and they ended up getting one of the head leaders of the gangs out. So there you go. That's why they were taking over the police station. Or the news station. Sorry if I didn't make that clear. This next one is pretty crazy. There's a Brazilian police helicopter that takes off and doesn't really go very well for the police helicopter. Whoa. A little low, dude. You're a little low is what she just said. Pull up. Pull up. Oof. Little helicopter crash for you. Wait till you see this other angle, though. This is crazy. Watch this. Boom. Can you imagine just driving down the street and a fucking helicopter crashes right behind you? Or it crashes right in front of you if that was your car? Isn't that nuts? Bam! It just drops in the middle of the street. That would be nuts. Imagine just driving along and having a fucking helicopter just drop on top of you like that. So there you go. There's a helicopter crash in Brazil. I think I have a pretty good, I think I have a good car chase that ends in a nice little war zone style kind of gunfight here. Where's this at here? Oh, shoot. I don't have that one. All right, never mind. We're not going to end with that one. We'll end with these two that are kind of funny anyway. So there is a video I've been holding on to for a while that I keep forgetting to play for you guys that makes me laugh every time I watch. I see it in my prep, and I go, why haven't I not played this video yet? You may have seen it before. I love this video. Little warning to everybody. If you're a dude, this one could be graphic for you guys. Or a chick, I guess it could be too. Oh! Oh! I love the guy. I love the there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. I must have watched that 100 times. I love this video. There you go. Look at that. So let's get a little zoom in here. Let's see this guy. Oh, hold on. Oh, is that a girl? Oh, I thought it was a dude for some reason. This whole time I thought this was a dude. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Oh, that reminds me of when I fell off that thing. Look at her reaction. Reminds me when I fell off that thing at the Smithsonian, and I fell down in that submarine or ship I was standing in. I slipped off the step and got impaled right between my taint and my balls with the not between my taint and my balls. That is your taint. Off to the side of my taint, like on my like right on the bone, like right there. Oh man, that hurt so bad. I landed on this like metal, this brass thing. It was brutal. So. And then two other quick ones. I don't know if you guys saw this one on New Year's Day. This made me laugh so hard. I love this guy. I feel so bad for him. He gets so fucking salty. Where's it at? Hold on. Where's it at? Here we go. This would be one of the funniest things to ever happen if I was at a party. I would die laughing if this happened at a party I was at. So you can see there's a guy on the ground there. He's in a... It's the best when he gets all... So they do end up having to bust this dude out with the hammer. They smash the vase, and he ends up getting out with a hammer. Or I'm sorry, getting out unscathed because they busted out the hammer for it. So I did love that video. He was so pissed off. I just think about how freaked out you would be because you go in there thinking it's no big deal. You think you're going to be able to pop back out, but your legs are all folded up underneath you, and there's just no way you're getting back out now. It's like the physics of it. You go in, and now you're stuck. It's just not coming back out now. It's like if you put something in a drawer that's sticking up a little bit, push the drawer all the way in, start pulling, so all of a sudden it's not coming out. You got batteries in there that are sticking up too high. You're stuck. It's screwed. You got to jostle that whole thing or break the whole damn drawer like they had to do with that guy. So there you go. There's just a few of the videos I had in the video dump. I got a million of them. We'd be here all night if I went through all of them. So what we'll do is we'll wrap things up for tonight. We'll dump a few more tomorrow while we are live. And that's going to wrap things up for us tonight here on another Dumb Show. I want to thank all of you guys for kicking it and hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. I thank you very much to Carrie, the dude from Rochester, for calling in and telling your story. I pay for these damn phones, so you know how much I appreciate it when you guys call in into the show and interact with me. Thanks to everybody in the league. I appreciate all of you guys being here. As always, you guys are the best. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything from anybody. Nope, that's it. No super fan donations missed or gifts given missed. That is it. We'll be back live tomorrow with the main show at 7 o'clock p.m. And then no after show after that. No, it's Thursday. There's no Thursday, no football this week. So we're going to save those for, I think we'll do a Friday night gaming show. And then Saturday we'll go live during the Browns game for a Browns playoff watch party. So, which will be just to consist a lot of of a lot of me yelling at the TV, me doing this for 3 hours yelling. So that's what that'll entail on Saturday for that. So be ready for that. Thanks for watching issue 163. If you've not already hit the thumbs up for tonight's video, please take a second to smash that thumbs up button for a brother. I would greatly appreciate it. We are out of here. I think that's gonna, what else was I gonna say? Oh, the Discord. I always forget to do this. Those of you who are interested in hanging out in the chat and you can't do it now while we're live, but you'd like to kind of continue the conversation regarding another dumb show, say you're, watching a replay or something like that, scan this QR code with your phone and you will be able to get into our Discord and you can continue the conversation about another dumb show there. So I encourage you guys to go ahead and check that out. So that's going to wrap things up for us tonight. I am out of here. See ya.